Hello again, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2. Watching my last video, I spoke of, like, what if you went this other way? Well, you'd go to a boss, an optional boss, that would, basically, I guess it'd let you get an extra bonfire in here, so. But also, for our purposes, it's, I'm going to need to fight it so that I can, do Lucatiel's side quest. There we go. I don't know why my brain freezes up so much when I start to speak. I've considered writing scripts for each episode, but it would be really hard to, write a script when I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Of course, I guess I could write script blivets, and only read the script or like talk at very set points about set information. But, I don't know, that just doesn't seem like it'd be as much fun to me. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I made it. I didn't think I was gonna make it. Ooh, it's Zweihander. Now, that's actually wrong. This Pharaoh's Lockstone, it's not exactly as worthwhile as other Pharaoh's Lockstones. But this water, as you can see, when you stand in it, it heals you. Okay, so that's one useful thing about it. But the other useful thing is you can get covered in water, and then if you so choose, you can try to run, and while you're damp, you'll take, far less damage from lava walking. Oh, not that kind of lava walking, though. I'll be competent one of these days. Probably not in Dark Souls 2, though. I sometimes ask myself, I'm like, why, if I don't enjoy Dark Souls 2, am I Let's Playing it? Why don't I just move on? Well, for one, I've already started the Let's Play. For another, I don't know, I feel like From Software, even given 2's, lower quality than the other ones in the series, it's still a good game to play, and, I'm not gonna not include it, I'm not gonna act like it doesn't exist. It's not like it's the sequel trilogy to Star Wars or anything, I mean, that works, I guess. See how good that Zweihander is. If I can even use it. Oh, I can. Ooh, 180. See, but it's kind of really heavy. Some nice big wide swings like in the first one. Although they do seem to go slightly faster. but instead of having a big overhead slash, you've got this weird stab. It would be useful if it wasn't so heavy. No! Oh. I am... just call me Mr. Butterfingers. Or something. Moral of the story is, don't R1 spam. It's bad for your health. Now, I don't need to be using these human effigies. Like, the boss that I'm gonna fight, he's not really that difficult, but it's another Lucatiel situation. Since we talked to her in Earthern Peak, she should be available for this summon fight, and this will be the last time we need to summon her in order to complete her quest line, I think. Although if I had my way, I would summon her for every boss, because she's my Dark Souls 2 waifu. And has been since like 2014, I don't know, like the second or third day I was playing this, I guess. Maybe fourth day. I had kind of a hard time with it. I started at the Deprived and I didn't know where to get things. Okay, don't use any effigies till you actually get through it. Oh, I might have not been in the mindset to play when I started recording. Oh well. I will soldier on because there's really nothing better for me to do. And besides, the sooner I get through this, the sooner I can move on to Bloodborne, which I will enjoy immensely. It still comes in as like my third most played game every year according to the PlayStation Network, so... You know. Faith and Brina. Oh, that sounds like a player. Pretty sure that is going to be a player. Ah, well. Hello. Lots of stabby swords, huh? Okay. The thing I don't like about invasions in any of the Dark Souls games is that, except for Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne, I guess. They're just not, they're not even remotely balanced. And in Dark Souls 3, the situation changes a little bit, depending on where you're invading at. And what level range you're invading at. But, like basically, in the first Dark Souls, anytime you get invaded, unless you've got like a ton of summon help, and it's like a fresh playthrough, you're getting twinked, right? Like it's some guy who had the time and like that's what he likes to do, and he went through the whole game staying at a low level and like not upgrading his weapons. He gets something absurdly broken so he can kill people, like multiple people at once, or even just like really good weapons, to focus on killing one person at a time. And then goes to an area and presses the, mashes the invade button until it works out. And like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal except for the fact that there's no way to, like, prepare for all the things that you could be invaded by. While also having to deal with, all of the enemies in the world. Like for a while, there was an item called the Seed of a Giant Tree. I think it started in this one. I don't remember where you get it, but it turns the enemies hostile towards the invader. But unless you're gonna know where to get it, or you have an infinite number of them, which I think their quantity's fairly restricted, you're not gonna be, on even footing at all with the person who's invading you. Obviously, invasions aren't supposed to be an honorable thing. They're literally supposed to be, another way to have fun with the game. And, it's supposed to be like, people who are really good at the game, they aren't really bothered by being invaded. Right? But I mean, even, no matter how good you get, there's a limit, there's a limit to how much you can take, how much you can deal with. And you're still going to be fighting at a disadvantage. It's just... Now, on the other hand, if you get invaded and you're relatively prepared, like you've min-maxed your stats, so you've got a ton of health and endurance, and like, you've got a pretty good armor set, pretty good build, you're not using spells. Right, because like for the most part, other than like Wrath of Gods and like some other stuff, spells kind of suck in PvP. Right, like basically I guess if you're set up to PvP, you're not going to have problems with invaders, but the other thing is most of the builds in the game, they aren't set up for that. Like they just aren't. So it just grinds my gears. Got a great bow that I'll probably never use. I think the arguments you hear from people who really like to invade is, oh, I'm always running into, multiple fandoms and they can resummon and blah, 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 blah. If you're playing online, you should be taking advantage of that. And it's just like, well, yeah, sure. But, I don't know. I just like to play online to get helpful messages, and I do occasionally like fighting with invaders. Like, it's... Sometimes it's fun. Like, if I'm ready for it, it's fun. You know, just, but like in certain areas, it's just like, why did you even make this area invadable? It's not good times. Anyway. There's a whole much more to say about that. Frankly, I don't feel like dwelling on it really anymore. But here we go. We got the Smelter Demon. Oh my. I don't remember his exact attack pattern, really. I don't think I can poison him either. I just... It's the rest I've got. As the fight goes on, his fire gets bigger and bigger, so by being close to him, you get a, you take damage, basically. Maybe Lucatile can finish him off for me. Yeah. Yeah, he's actually pretty much totally optional. You can bypass this fight entirely by going the other way. Dwarf butthole. I guess so. I actually did a lot of invading myself in Dark Souls 3 to get the Platinum Trophy more quickly. Because so many of the items you had to acquire were tied to Covenants. And you could farm the Covenant items, but, you know, I was tired of farming Covenant items, but with the Dark Moon Blade Covenant, you know, basically, like, I had to farm, like, 3.5 million souls worth of Silver Knights to get the number of Covenant items required, and that was with full timing the Dark Moon Blade Covenant itself, so that I could perform Dark Moon Blade invasions, which are really more like you're summoned in by anyone wearing the Way of Blue Covenant or whatever, and
bearer of the seek less.
No, I've never used a katana in this game, so I think I'm gonna try to use one of those Elan Knight swords. I have no idea how strong they actually are, because I don't think I've ever actually taken over 25 decks or anything. I can't believe the Smelter Demon has a unique soul.
Bearer, see less.
Alright, let's become the ultimate weeb. Oh no, it's still only 95 damage. That's... oh, what a waste of levels. Probably intended to be power wielded, I guess. Or maybe it's just like the high scaling, you're intended to have way more dexterity to get damage out of it. Whatever. Okay. Alright, well, let's continue on back. I don't think we'll get to talk to... I don't think we'll get to talk to Lucatiel until a little later. But now that we've had her live through 4 boss fights, and we should be all set. But yeah, see? This is where, like, you do all that, you fight that boss, and all it does is... all it does is make continuing a little bit easier. Oh. Heh! He wasn't just mind-numbingly hitting the ground, he was knocking the bridge down. So you'd have to jump it. I had a brain once. I don't know what happened to it, really. I don't do drugs, so not really sure what happened. Yeah, you have fun, you damn Ninja Turtle. Why does my guy open doors so slowly? Do you mind? Got a fun little room here with some lava, some flamethrower puzzle. I'm liable to be invaded in this next section.
Slice you to bits. Hear my chums, we shan't be left. Stay back or your piece. A long time ago, the prince he made me, yes, just like so. To guard this bell, princess's honor. Stay away, foul undead, or you'll be a goner. Stay back.
I want to guard the bell. So this is the Belfry Soul, and it's full of gray phantom enemies. There's really no point to it other than it's basically a PvP arena. Yeah, that's like as much as I know about it. Oh, look, I rang your bell. Ooh, ooh. Ow. Ow. Aw. Yeah, they got all these NPC phantoms, and they're gray, and you also get invaded by Bell Guardian people. I don't believe ringing the bell does anything. Like anything at all. But even if it did, you know, it's so past the point of being vital. I just don't care about it. I think I'm about out of time for this episode, so thanks for watching if you did. I'm probably just going to continue right into the next one. And I'm just going to let it end abruptly whenever it does, since I have no intention of stopping. Got a guy with dual-wheeled avalanche, huh? Oh, look, we're up on top of like a... Do you mind? Yeah, we're up on top of the castle, and it's like on a plateau of lava. But you know, the tower from Earthen Peak is nowhere to be seen. So, just one of those things.